We're going to talk about a couple mental shortcuts called heuristics. A heuristic is basically a rule of thumb that helps us make decisions, but these shortcuts can sometimes land us at a wrong answer, especially in sports betting. The most relevant heuristics to sports betting are the availability and the affect heuristics, so we'll cover those here. The goal here is to be able to recognize when your decision making might be going off track. Let's start with the availability heuristic. This happens when you judge the probability of something happening based on how easy it is to remember other similar things happening. Basically, the easier it is to think of an example, the more likely your brain thinks it is. After major natural disasters like hurricanes or earthquakes show up in the news, insurance companies see a spike in people buying insurance policies. People overestimate how likely it is that disasters will happen again because the recent events are fresh in their minds. In sports betting, you might be looking at a bet like, will this year's Super Bowl go into overtime? Most people will search their memory for Super Bowls that went into overtime, and they'll find a fairly recent answer, the 2024 Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers. Even though it's a rare event, you might overestimate the probability of the next Super Bowl going into overtime. So the danger is that people often don't pay attention to statistics. Actually, when they do see stats, they usually don't even change their mind. This is why you see football announcers always skeptical for going for it on fourth down or going for a 2-point conversion. People respond much better to individual examples. Those announcers are falling for the availability heuristic because they're remembering the times it didn't work, instead of caring about the statistics. And the statistics I'm talking about here actually involves something called expected value, which we'll go over in the basics course. Okay, let's move on to the affect heuristic. This heuristic involves making decisions based on emotions. Affect means emotion. How you feel about something changes how you look at risks or benefits. Day traders might be the most frequent victims of the affect heuristic when deciding which stocks to buy. They might invest just because they like the brand's products or they had a good experience with them. This totally ignores the company's financial health and other market conditions. Betting on your favorite team against your least favorite team, betting when you're in a good mood, and betting when you're in a bad mood are all examples of the affect heuristic and how it can lead you astray. If you're not in a stable, neutral mood, you're at high risk of making bad decisions and losing money. Okay, let's recap. A heuristic is a rule of thumb or a mental shortcut. The availability heuristic can make us overestimate the likelihood of things that easily come to mind. The affect heuristic can change our decisions depending on our emotions. These heuristics can negatively impact your betting decisions, usually without you even realizing it. Remember, biases and heuristics can affect anyone, and the best way to fight them is to be aware of them and take steps to lower their impact on your decisions. That is everything you need to know about heuristics.